Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special podcast for English learners around the world. Today, we are going to talk about something very important, something emotional, and something that can truly change your life. We're talking about motivation for learning English. And honestly, Tim, I feel excited about today's conversation because so many people are learning English right now, but many of them feel tired, nervous, or even afraid sometimes. Some listeners probably feel shy when they speak English. Some may feel embarrassed because they make mistakes. And some people may think they are too slow or not talented enough. But today, we want to tell every listener something important. You do not need to be perfect to become successful in English. You only need courage, patience, and the willingness to continue.
Wow, Elisa, I already feel emotional listening to you. And honestly, I think millions of English learners need to hear these words. Sometimes people think successful English speakers were always confident from the beginning, but that is not true at all. Many fluent speakers started with fear, confusion, and very broken English. I remember meeting a student years ago who was terrified to say even one English sentence in public. His hands shook every time he tried to speak. But little by little, day after day, he improved. And today, he works for an international company and speaks English every single day with confidence. That transformation did not happen because he was perfect. It happened because he refused to give up on himself.
That is such a beautiful story, Tim. And honestly, I think one of the biggest problems English learners face is comparing themselves to others. People open social media and suddenly they see someone speaking English fluently, confidently, and quickly. Then they look at themselves and think, I will never sound like that. But listeners, please remember this carefully. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. Nobody starts perfectly. Learning English is not a race. It is a journey. Some people walk faster, some people walk slower, but what truly matters is continuing to move forward.
Exactly, Elisa. And I think many learners forget how amazing it is that they are even trying to learn another language. Honestly, learning English is not easy. It takes time, discipline, courage, and patience. Your brain is learning new sounds, new grammar, new vocabulary, and new ways to communicate. That is actually incredible when you think about it. Sometimes learners become angry because progress feels slow. But small progress is still progress. Learning 5 new words today matters. Understanding one English sentence you could not understand before matters. Every little step counts. And over time, those small steps become something powerful.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what, Tim? I think many learners do not celebrate themselves enough. They focus too much on what they cannot do instead of appreciating what they already can do. Maybe your pronunciation is not perfect yet. Maybe you still make grammar mistakes. Maybe speaking feels difficult. But look how far you have already come. Right now, you are listening to an English podcast. Right now, you are understanding English little by little. That is already success. Sometimes we forget that growth happens slowly and quietly. A flower does not bloom in one night, and confidence does not grow in one day either.
That reminds me of something funny, actually. When I first started learning another language years ago, I was so nervous that I accidentally ordered something completely wrong at a restaurant. I wanted to ask for chicken soup, but I pronounced the word incorrectly and accidentally said something strange that made the waiter laugh. I felt so embarrassed in that moment. Honestly, I wanted to disappear completely. But later, I laughed about it too. And do you know what happened after that mistake? I never forgot the correct pronunciation again. That embarrassing moment actually helped me improve faster. Sometimes our funniest mistakes become our best teachers.
Oh no, Tim. That sounds so awkward and funny at the same time. But honestly, that is exactly how language learning works sometimes. We all make strange mistakes. I remember once speaking to a tourist while learning another language, and I accidentally used a word that completely changed the meaning of my sentence. I wanted to sound smart and polite, but instead the person looked confused for almost 30 seconds. I felt my face becoming red immediately. But later we both laughed together, and it became a wonderful memory. Mistakes are not proof that you are failing. They are proof that you are trying. And trying is the most important part of learning.
I love that so much, Elisa. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Honestly, listeners should remember that sentence forever. Too many learners stay silent because they are afraid of sounding imperfect. But silence will never help you improve. Speaking helps you improve. Trying helps you improve. Making mistakes helps you improve. Think about children learning their first language. They make mistakes every single day, but nobody tells them to stop speaking. They continue practicing naturally until they improve. English learners should treat themselves with the same kindness and patience.
Exactly. And confidence grows through action, not through waiting. Some learners keep saying, "I will speak English when I become perfect." But perfection never comes first. Practice comes first. Confidence comes after practice. You cannot become a strong swimmer by standing outside the water forever. At some point, you must jump into the water and start moving. Speaking English works the same way. Your voice becomes stronger every time you use it. Even short and simple conversations can slowly build powerful confidence inside you.
That is such a powerful comparison, Elisa. And honestly, one thing I always tell learners is this: do not be afraid of sounding simple. Simple English is beautiful. Clear communication matters more than difficult vocabulary. Some learners try to memorize huge, complicated words because they want to sound intelligent immediately. But real communication is about connection, not perfection. If you can express your feelings, your thoughts, your dreams, and your personality in English, that is already amazing. Language is not about showing off. It is about sharing yourself with the world.
Wow, Tim, that is honestly beautiful. And speaking of sharing yourself with the world, I think learning English can truly change a person's life. English opens doors to opportunities, friendships, travel experiences, education, and confidence. Imagine being able to travel to another country and communicate comfortably. Imagine making friends from different cultures. Imagine watching movies, listening to music, or reading books without translation. Imagine getting a better job because you can speak English confidently. These things are real possibilities. English is not just a subject in school. For many people, it becomes the bridge between their dreams and reality.
Absolutely, Elisa. And sometimes people do not realize how much confidence English can give them emotionally, too. I met a learner once who said English changed her personality completely. Before learning English, she was very shy and quiet. But after practicing English regularly, she became more confident, not only in language, but also in life. She started speaking more openly, meeting new people, and believing in herself more. That story stayed in my mind for a long time, because it shows something important. Learning English is not only about words and grammar, sometimes it changes how you see yourself.
That is honestly such a powerful story, Tim. And I think many listeners can relate to that feeling. Sometimes learning English is not only about communication. Sometimes it becomes a journey of personal growth. You slowly become braver. You slowly become more open to the world. And little by little, you start believing that maybe you can achieve bigger dreams than you imagined before. I remember receiving a message from a listener once who said learning English helped him get his first international job interview. He told me he was shaking during the interview because he was so nervous. He made grammar mistakes. He forgot some vocabulary too. But he continued speaking with honesty and confidence. And guess what? He got the job.
Whoa, that gives me chills, honestly. Because that story proves something important. People do not always expect perfection from you. Many times they simply want communication, effort, and confidence. Learners often think one small mistake will destroy everything. But real conversations are not grammar tests. Even native speakers make mistakes every day. Sometimes people forget words in their own language. Sometimes pronunciation becomes unclear. That is completely normal. Language is alive, messy, emotional, and human. And honestly, some of the most inspiring English learners I have ever met were not perfect speakers. They were simply brave enough to continue talking even when they felt nervous.
Exactly. And courage is such an important part of this journey. I think many learners wait for motivation before they begin practicing, but sometimes motivation comes after action, not before it. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be days when studying feels difficult. Maybe you will feel lazy, frustrated, or discouraged. But even 5 or 10 minutes of practice can keep your dream alive. Small effort every day is more powerful than one perfect study session once a month. Consistency changes people slowly. And honestly, slow progress is still beautiful progress.
I completely agree with that. Actually, one of the biggest secrets successful learners understand is the power of daily habits. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They practice even when life feels busy. Maybe they listen to English while cooking. Maybe they repeat English sentences while walking outside. Maybe they watch short English videos before sleeping. Small habits may look unimportant in one day, but after months and years, those habits create incredible results. People often underestimate how powerful consistency can become. Tiny actions repeated every day can completely transform your future.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, I think many learners make English learning too stressful sometimes. They think they must study grammar books for many hours every day to improve. But learning can also feel fun and natural. You can learn through music, movies, podcasts, stories, and conversations. I know one learner who improved his listening skills mostly through watching movies with subtitles every night. At first, he understood almost nothing, but slowly his ears became familiar with English sounds and pronunciation. After several months, he noticed huge improvement. The important thing was not perfection. The important thing was regular exposure to the language.
That reminds me of my own experience, too. I used to listen to English songs repeatedly when I was younger. Honestly, sometimes I did not even understand the lyrics completely, but I kept listening anyway. And without realizing it, I started learning pronunciation, rhythm, vocabulary, and natural expressions. Music can make language feel emotional and memorable. I still remember phrases from songs I heard years ago. And podcasts are amazing too, because they help learners become comfortable hearing natural conversations. At first, fast English may sound impossible to understand, but your brain slowly adapts with practice. The key is patience.
Patience is truly everything in language learning. And honestly, I wish more learners understood this deeply. Many people quit because they expect fast results. They study for 2 weeks and then say, "Why am I not fluent yet?" But fluency is not magic. It grows slowly through thousands of small moments. Every conversation matters. Every listening session matters. Every mistake matters. Every difficult day matters too. Sometimes progress becomes invisible before it becomes visible. You may feel stuck, but your brain is still learning quietly in the background.
That is such an important point. I think comparing yourself to others also destroys patience sometimes. People see fluent speakers online and feel discouraged immediately. But what they do not see is the long journey behind that confidence. They do not see the years of mistakes, awkward conversations, forgotten vocabulary, and embarrassing moments. Success usually looks beautiful from the outside, but the journey itself is often messy and difficult. And honestly, that is okay.
struggle does not mean failure. Struggle means growth is happening.
Exactly. And speaking of embarrassing moments, I have another funny story. One time I was speaking with a group of international friends, and I wanted to say I was excited about something, but I accidentally used a completely wrong word that changed the meaning in a very awkward way. Everybody became silent for a few seconds, and then suddenly everyone started laughing loudly. I wanted to hide under the table, honestly. But later, we laughed together for hours about that moment, and now it is one of my favorite memories. Sometimes embarrassing mistakes become the stories we remember forever.
Oh, I love stories like that. Honestly, language learning would be boring without funny mistakes sometimes. I remember one student who tried to say, "I am very hungry," but accidentally said something completely different because of pronunciation. The entire classroom started laughing, including the teacher. At first, the student felt embarrassed, but later he laughed too. And do you know what happened? He never forgot the correct pronunciation after that day. Funny mistakes often become unforgettable lessons. They make learning feel human and real.
Exactly. Learners need to understand that embarrassment is temporary, but growth can last forever. If you stop speaking because of one awkward moment, you stop your own progress. But if you continue despite embarrassment, your confidence becomes stronger. Confidence is like a muscle. It grows every time you use it. The first conversation may feel scary. The second conversation may still feel uncomfortable. But eventually, something amazing happens. You begin speaking more naturally, without thinking so much. You begin trusting yourself more.
And honestly, one of the best ways to build confidence is through simple conversations. Many learners think they need advanced vocabulary immediately, but simple communication is enough in the beginning. You can start by talking about your day, your hobbies, your favorite food, or your dreams. You do not need perfect grammar to connect with people emotionally. Communication is more important than perfection. And every small conversation helps your brain become more comfortable using English naturally.
Yes, and learners should celebrate small victories more often, too. Maybe today you understood an English video without subtitles for the first time. Maybe you spoke one full sentence confidently. Maybe you learned 10 new words this week. These small moments matter so much. Progress is not always dramatic. Sometimes it happens quietly, through tiny improvements. But those tiny improvements slowly build a completely new version of yourself.
That is beautiful, Elisa. And honestly, I think many learners forget to enjoy the journey itself. They become so focused on fluency that they forget learning can actually be exciting and meaningful. Through English, you can discover new cultures, ideas, friendships, and experiences. You can listen to inspiring people from around the world. You can understand movies and songs directly. You can communicate with people you never imagined meeting before. English becomes more than a language. It becomes a connection to the world.
Absolutely. And I want to say something directly to every listener right now. If you feel tired, discouraged, or slow, please do not give up on yourself. Progress does not disappear just because you feel frustrated today. Some days will feel difficult. Some days you may forget vocabulary you studied yesterday. Some days you may feel like your English is getting worse instead of better. But those moments happen to almost every learner. Do not let temporary emotions destroy a long-term dream. Keep going. Your future self will thank you for continuing.
Yes. And honestly, restarting is also okay. Some people stop learning English for months or even years because life becomes busy or stressful. Then they feel ashamed to begin again. But there is nothing shameful about restarting. Restarting means you still care about your dream. Restarting means hope still exists inside you. It does not matter how slowly you return.
What matters is returning at all. One small step back into learning can change everything again.
That is such a powerful message. And honestly, listeners, please remember this carefully. Fluency is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through ordinary days, through repetition, through effort, through patience, through mistakes, through courage. Every time you choose to continue practicing instead of giving up, you are building your future, little by little. And one day, you will suddenly realize something amazing. The English that once felt impossible now feels natural to you.
I completely believe that. And before we finish this podcast, I want every listener to know something important. You are more capable than you think. Maybe right now your English feels small, broken, or imperfect, but every fluent speaker once felt exactly the same way. Nobody begins confidently. Confidence grows through experience. Fluency grows through repetition. Success grows through patience. The journey may feel long sometimes, but every step forward matters deeply.
And listeners, please never forget this. Your voice matters, even if your English is not perfect yet. Your dreams matter. Your effort matters. Your progress matters. Do not wait for perfection before speaking. Speak now. Practice now. Believe in yourself now. One conversation can change your confidence. One habit can change your future. One decision to continue can completely transform your life someday.
Exactly. Keep listening. Keep practicing. Keep making mistakes. Keep laughing at those mistakes too. Keep trying again, even after difficult days. English learning is not about becoming perfect overnight. It is about becoming stronger, little by little, every single day. And honestly, we believe in every single listener hearing this right now. We truly do.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope this conversation gave you hope, motivation, confidence, and encouragement. Remember, your journey matters. Your progress matters. And no matter how difficult learning feels sometimes, please never stop believing in yourself.
Yes, never give up on your dream of learning English. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Your future opportunities, friendships, experiences, and confidence are waiting for you. One day, you will look back at this difficult journey and feel proud that you continued. And when that day comes, you will realize something beautiful. Every mistake, every struggle, and every small practice session was worth it.
Take care, everyone. Continue learning. Continue growing. Continue believing. And always remember this powerful truth. You are capable of more than you think.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep shining, keep practicing, and keep speaking English with courage. Your journey is just beginning.